This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This is The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, and create actual, real, amazing relationships. George Camel, host of the Entree Leadership Podcast, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George, I am excited. We announced yesterday that we are doing a free live stream. It's going to be about an hour long. It's completely free, and it's all about, well, we're calling it the Real Estate Reality Check.
I love that. I had a name that was not as good. It was The Struggle is Real Estate. That one did not pass the marketing vibe check, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you have to do a rim shot after your marketing,
I know.
like if you have to go ba-da-bum right
sound
after
effect.
that,
Come on, guys,
for
in the
everybody
booth.
to get what you're saying, then George, it's a bad slogan.
Way better name, Reality Check. And that's exactly what people need to do.
Yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. July the 14th, Rachel Cruz, George Camel, and I are going to jump in front of the camera. We're going to spend an hour with you, walking you through facts. Because here's what happens. That's why we call this reality check, actually. The real estate, the realty reality check. But because here's what happens. Nothing like, there's two things where people go completely down the rabbit hole like they're on LSD. They lose their minds and they make up these stories in their heads. One of them is conspiracy theories, and one of them is real estate. I've been doing real estate since I was 18 years old. So I've had a real estate license 42 years.
Wow.
Okay, so I've heard it all. And the one that no one gossips in America like they gossip about what a piece of real estate sold for. They just make up crap. They just make it up. They go, well, I heard the neighbor. I heard the neighbor got $2 million for that. I heard the neighbor. Or I heard they knocked $500,000 off the price. Yeah, but did you hear that the entire garage had fallen in and the septic system was bad? Did you hear that part? That there's a reason they knocked it off. It's not because the real estate market is crashing. That there's actual facts and reasons and data under this. And I heard the neighbor. And when someone starts their real estate diatribe narrative with, I heard the neighbor, you're getting ready to hear bad information that some goober made up in the rumor mill, and it's just not true. You need to actually check the actual courthouse and see what the house actually sold for. Oh, my neighbor's asking $2.5 million. Well, hey, so mine's up for sale for $8 million. I mean, that doesn't mean any goober's going to pay that. What somebody's asking has nothing to do with reality. Because there are some people smoking drugs when they put their house on the market, and they decide to ask that. I heard the neighbors asking. Who gives a crap? What you need to deal with is an actual facts.
Charts and graphs. That's what
we're going to help you with. We're going to teach you where real estate prices come from. Is there going to be a housing crash? No, there's not. Spoiler alert. And I'm going to walk you through exactly with actual math and data and economics and like facts and stuff instead of narrative and rumor and hyperbole and drama.
You were stirring up the pot, Dave. You just said, hey, the market's not going to crash. You would have thought, I mean, people are up in arms about this.
Man, you piss people off when you come up against their little conspiracy theories.
But here's what's happening.
If I'm hell-bent on the world coming to an end, I don't like it when someone says it's not. Yeah, and I will give you facts and data that I make up from some conspiracy website. Because listen, 100% of what you hear on the internet is true. Abraham Lincoln said that. So there you go.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, people. Seriously. All right. So we're going to do actual facts and actual data. We're going to teach you about supply demand and how that works. We're going to teach you what recessions and inflation and interest rates do to real estate markets. And we're going to tell you exactly what's going on. And then you're going to understand where the real estate market is going to go in the next 6 months to 2 years. And you're going to be able to make good, like adult decisions instead of like a screaming beagle chasing a rabbit. Some of you people lose your minds. Calm down. You cannot think when you're panicking.
We're going to show them what to do
when
once
you're
we do
greedy
that.
and when you're afraid. You make bad decisions.
Yeah. And whether you're looking to buy or sell, we're going to show you the right steps to do it so that you don't have buyer's remorse, so that you don't make a bad decision. There's a right time to do this financially.
Yeah. and there is some things changing for sure. The market is definitely shifted.
People are seeing price cuts because it was overpriced, and now they're going, Dave, it's crashing, I told you.
There's a difference in price cuts on unrealistic asking prices. That's like your crazy neighbor is asking too much, and actual value drop. Okay, the house is appraised for this, and it appraised for $800,000, but we put it on the market for $1 million, thinking we were going to get
Just to see.
Thinking we were going to get it.
Market's hot.
Because we're those people, and now we've realized the market's not going to actually sell for over appraisal, and so we're going to reduce the price to appraisal, and now we call that a price cut. So now you've got the house listed for what it should have been listed in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a price cut. That is called a reality check. You dialed in and realized, okay, we're no longer in the land of auctions, and we're actually going to sell a house. So, because you put a house on the market today, you may in some areas get 83 offers over the weekend, but most of that's done. And if the only time you've existed in the real estate market is when you put a house on the market and you got 83 offers in 48 hours, if you have existed only in an unrealistic real estate market, that is, I've been doing this 42 years. I've seen that happen for about 2 years, the last 2 years. Prior to that, I've never seen multiple offers on a single property was very unusual prior to that. And 80 offers on one property in 48 hours was completely unheard of. Completely unheard of. So if that's your only understanding of the real estate market, you don't know how the real estate market works. You were dealing in fantasy land.
And so when things slow down, it feels like a crash.
It's not a crash.
Because it's been on the market for 3 weeks.
It's a return to normalcy, which is actually a really good thing.
We could use some of that.
Overall,
I love it.
So Real Estate Reality Check, July the 14th. We're going to continue to give you hints of what we're going to say, which is like common sense and stuff, kind of like we do around here all the time. We don't work in drama. We work in facts, and we work in data and all those kinds of stuff. So, yeah, check it out. You can get a free pass to watch this. Get your goober friend who thinks the sky is falling. If you know Chicken Little personally, invite them to watch this, okay? RamseySolutions.com/reality check. RamseySolutions.com/reality check. It is a free live stream, July the 14th.
And if you disagree, just hate watch it. That's the new thing, Dave, on the internet now. You just watch it knowing you're going to hate it. And so you just get riled up the whole time. Going, that Dave Ramsey telling me it's not going to crash. I'll show him in the comment section.
Yeah.
And there they are.
There you go. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you can do that if you want to. It's okay. I don't care. But I don't really expect to convert someone who's already
crazy.
Because you got friends that, like Rachel with the conspiracy theories.
Yes.
You can't talk them out of it. No amount of facts. The number of facts doesn't matter. Okay. They've just decided that this is the way it is, and they believe this whole narrative that's mythology. And so you presenting them with facts just confuses them. And it doesn't convert them, though. It doesn't make them come down off of their crazy land that they're visiting. And the same thing's true here. If you're just hell-bent and you're sure the economy's going to crash and anybody that says anything otherwise is crazy, you can hate watch this if you want to watch it, but you're wasting your time because I'm not going to change, and you're still going to be wrong after you watch it. So there's that. So, join us July 14th. We will get in your grill and tell you how this is going to work. It's good stuff. We're excited about it. Can you tell? It's all free, by the way. RamseySolutions.com/reality check. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Pam is in Atlanta. Hi, Pam. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how's everybody?
Great. How can we help today?
Okay, so I am calling because my husband and I have finally decided that we need to take care of our financial situation.
Good.
About 3 or 4 years ago, his aunt handed us the Total Money Makeover book, and we took it, and we were like, no, we're okay. We're surviving.
Used it for a coaster.
Okay.
It was a coaster.
Yeah. Well, then we passed it along to another family member and said, oh, you might need this more than we do. And we're finally tired of surviving. We're tired of, the paycheck to paycheck, and we have everything we need, but
I think she's ready, George.
Nothing to show for it.
That's the biggest step of all. I'm proud of you, Pam.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you.
Give us a snapshot of your financial picture. What's your income and how much debt do you guys have?
Okay, so before taxes, we're right at $130,000. We bring home $98,800 a year between the two of us. Debt is about $76,000. Also, we have we kind of built our home. Well, we didn't kind of. We built our home ourselves. My husband really built it on some family land, so kind of like a barn dominium. So we have no mortgage. So all of that debt is credit card loans and then 2 car payments. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have ordered the book.
How can we best help you today?
Okay. So I ordered the book from Amazon. They sent me the wrong book, and I sent it back, and now they're supposedly sending me the right one. And I guess I need to hear. I need you to tell me, like, just push me in that direction. I don't want to say I'm a skeptic, but, I do a budget every quarter. I used to do an annual budget, and it never worked. It always fell apart.
It doesn't work.
So, I started doing it. Yeah, so I started doing a quarterly budget.
That doesn't work either.
Yeah, that's sometimes some months it works, and then some months it doesn't work. No. Yeah.
Because every month is different.
Right.
And you're trying to operate off a template instead of reality.
This is correct.
And so it won't work unless you do one before the month begins each and every month, because that way you're customizing what my income is that month. I know exactly what it's going to be for the coming month in almost every case, and I know exactly what my expenses are going to be, or are really good, accurate projection of them. And so you take all of your income and you give every one of those dollars a name, a mission before the month begins. And here's the hard part. Any goober can do that. You can do that on a yellow pad. Okay,
sure.
It's 6th grade math, 3rd grade math. All right, but the trick is then to actually use that through the whole month and not do anything with money except what's on that paper.
Right.
And you and your husband pinky swear and spit shake and agree to, this is a freaking contract. And so the way we always used to teach it in the old days in FPU, and it still applies today, is, you remember when you were a little kid? I was a little kid, my little sister would say, you're not the boss of me. And that's the deal with the budget. The budget is not the boss of you. You get to tell the budget what it's going to do until the budget is done. And then the budget becomes the boss of you.
Right.
But you're the boss of it until it's down on that paper, and then it's telling you what to do. So it's saying, no pizza tonight, goober. You're $76,000 in debt. Stay at home and eat leftovers. That's the budget bossing you around. But if you're not looking at it and going, we're about to go over on our food budget, you won't stay home. You'll look back at the end of the month and go, oh, we went over on our budget again. Budgets don't work. No, you didn't stick to it. Budgets work if you stick to them.
Right.
But you can't do that on a quarterly or annual basis. It does not work, though. So that's the part of the budget thing that works. And then we're going to show you the whole system to get you completely out of debt and become wealthy all the way through.
Spoiler alert.
But then the trick is you got to do every one of the steps.
Okay.
And if you think we're wrong, we're not. You are. We've shown 10 million people how to do this. I don't know anything about anything, but this stuff, I got it dialed in.
And Pam, the average person to do this stuff, they'll get out of debt within 18 to 24 months. If they get on a budget, they get serious, they start making some sacrifices. And based on the numbers you laid out, that's you guys. You can do this stuff.
And you've got money coming out of your check for retirement and or big health insurance or something else because you got too much coming out of your check.
Yeah. It's health insurance and 401k for mine.
Yeah, so you're going to stop your 401k temporarily. Are you getting a big tax refund too?
Not big. No,
What's
usually
not big?
Between $1,200 and $1,500.
Okay, all right. Then that's only $100 a month. Too much is coming out of your check for taxes.
Okay.
So we adjust that a little bit, but not much. And then we're just going to get on beans and rice and beans, because we want to be out of debt more than we care what somebody thinks. And that might mean selling a car. It will mean not going on vacation or going out to eat until you clean up this freaking mess you made. And then you're going to be free. What would it be like to have no payments in the world?
That would be awesome. Now, our next step after we would like to either purchase or build a house like that.
No, not now. Not now. You're broke.
No. After all of this is done.
Okay. Well, let's get out of debt first.
That's our goal.
Yeah, get out of debt, build your emergency fund, and then you can start piling up cash and build you a house with cash.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
Because if you don't have any payments, you're going to have this thing called money because you make $130,000 a year.
Right. Okay. So what do I need to do today until my book gets here, the correct book gets here?
Well, here's what I want you to do. Are you doing a budget on paper right now, Excel? What are you doing?
On paper. Handwrite it in paper.
Okay.
I have a big yellow binder that stays
on top of
the
book that's coming your way. I'm going to gift you Ramsey Plus that includes Every Dollar Premium and Financial Peace University. And so in the meantime, what I want you to do is start your Every Dollar budget. This is digital. It's going to be easier to track than pen and paper, and I think that's going to do better for you. And watch all of the videos in Financial Peace University on top of that until the book gets there. The book is fantastic, and it's going to have stories to inspire you.
Financial Peace University is better.
If I could recommend one thing, and you're willing to do it, it's those 9 lessons.
So tonight, we're going to sign you up. Tonight, you and your husband watch the first lesson.
Okay.
And download the Every Dollar app and start your budget tonight on the Every Dollar app. And the both of you now, you really have to be committed to the vision of this. And it's a life change situation, but it's going to set you free if you do it.
Okay.
Because you got to get tired of being tired.
I'm so tired of living like this.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. Hey, you got this. You can do it.
The only place is up from here, Pam. We're rooting for you.
Hang on. We're going to, Austin will pick up and get you signed up. You know, I spoke to a group the other day, and I got to listen to a group of guys and gals that had come through a drug rehab center.
Mm.
And what they said was 4 different ones got up, and they'd been clean and dry for 2, 3, 4 years, got their life back, you know, got to see their children again. Their children had been taken away from them, everything else. These were hardcore drug addicts, crack, heroin, you know, everything. And they were completely dry and completely cleaned up. And I got to listen to them, and then I talked to them a little bit afterwards. And every one of them said, and the guy running the rehab center said, the people that get clean and stay clean all share one thing. They always at some point say, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've been running from these drugs or to these drugs for so long. And the ones that are ready to change say, I'm tired. So when someone says, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, like she said, she's tired of this. That's always
That's a great indicator.
Now, she's not doing heroin.
That helps too.
But I mean, the point, you're right. But the point is that it's all behavior change, and behavior change is behavior change. I mean, if you look down and you go, I'm tired of being fat, you know, I looked down, I'd gained a whole bunch of weight eating donuts during COVID, and I said, I'm tired of being fat. I'm tired. And I was physically tired too, but
that's when life change starts.
Yeah, there's that. But
you can Google how to get out of debt, but doing it's the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows what to do.
The knowledge is easy.
How do you lose
to find.
weight? You eat less and you exercise more. Away from the donuts, Ramsey. Get away from the donuts, boy.
I'll slap it out of your hand if I see one.
All right.
I'll see how that goes for me.
Yeah, see how that works out for you. This is the Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. CJ and Jen are with us in Pittsburgh. It says on my screen you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done. How much did you pay off?
$112,000 in 20 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started out about $100,000 and ended up at about $125,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a prison guard.
And I'm a pediatric speech pathologist.
Awesomeness. Very good. What kind of debt was the 112?
Our mortgage.
Oh, talking to weird people.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, normal's broke.
Proud to see it.
The biggest compliment you can get around here is when we call you weird, because normal's broke. Normal sucks. And you guys have your mortgage paid for. You're amazing. What in the world? How old are you two?
I am 43.
And I'm 45.
When did you get married?
2004.
Okay, so 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Sweet little CJ and Jen get married, and they're clueless. Did you ever think you were going to have a paid-for house in your 40s?
Not in our 40s, no, but it feels amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you would have thought, most people think they're never going to get paid for, and if they do, it'd be like old people stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you're in your 40s and you got it paid off. What's it worth?
Probably around $280 right now with this crazy market.
I love it.
So cool.
This crazy market, you own a house.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're not worried about interest rates.
No, we are
That's
not.
awesome. So 20 months
You
ago.
got a better rate than anybody out there that's got a mortgage. I'm just saying. Way to go, you guys. That's amazing. Okay, what started this journey? How did you guys get on this Ramsey stuff and got going 20 months ago?
Like everybody, we had your book and we read it, and I was ready, he wasn't. He was ready, I wasn't. And then, several years ago, he came home and said, hey, I heard on the radio that FPU is going to be at a local church. Do you want to go? So I called my mom and set up 9 weeks of babysitting, and it was game on.
Ooh,
we paid off
that's genius.
$22,000 of school loans in about 6 months, and then just kept following the plan. And then, almost 2 years ago, the mortgage statement came, and we looked down, and we had paid about $120,000, but still owed $112,000. And our original loan we'd only paid like $60,000 of the actual principal, and it just set me off. So we have 3 girls, and we decided to make a bowl of stones that were $500 each, and every time we paid $500, we took a stone out, and our goal was to be done before our oldest turned 16, and we accomplished that goal in 20 months instead of 24. So
you made it with 4 months to spare. That's very cool. That is very cool. So when you signed up for Financial Peace University and you got the babysitting lined up and you both go over there, before you got to the first class, who was already more on board than the other one?
I think at that time, I read the book, but I need to hear it in person and be with other people doing it. So I think as soon as we signed up for the class, I was ready to go. What about you, CJ?
I was ready to go, too.
Okay.
Wow.
So it was my job was easy once you got there.
Yeah.
You needed the social proof
was the thing, and
of, we're not alone.
I was always about money, but having that plan and just that first class, we came home and we're just gung-ho ready to go.
Yeah, you can talk about working out, but when you hire a trainer and join a gym, now you're committed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's game on.
Wow.
You guys are fun. That's great. Okay, you paid off your house. You're 43 years old, 18 years into marriage. You paid off everything. You did it 4 months early. Tell people after going through Financial Peace University, what is the main things they have to do if they want to be like you when they grow up? They want to be debt-free. How do you get out of debt?
You got to follow Dave's plan. You have to budget and pay in cash and just commit it. And then we have 3 girls, and we got them all involved, and they were cheering us on, and they were, picking the perfect stone every month and just super encouraging. So you just need to do it.
They also help to keep us in check because there's times where they would say, that's not on the grocery list.
Ooh, they're calling you out.
Ooh.
Yeah, they would take things out of my hand and put it back on the shelf if it wasn't on the list. That was our little list.
Wow. She's
impressive.
hardcore.
Made sure we stayed true to the list.
This kid's going to be a multimillionaire. Not only did her mom and dad set her up, but because they're debt free, but now on top of that, she's actually had a model of a grown person with self-control and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even I have to say, we follow up until like 2 years ago. We were still sort of that Davish with that one credit card for gas and tires. And our middle one said to us, "If you pay it off every month, and Dave says don't have it, why do you have it?" And I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Can I cut it up?"
Wow.
And we looked at each other and said, "Sure." So now it's on our fridge in the shape of a flower magnet because our at that time 11-year-old said, "What are you doing?"
That's incredible.
I love this kid.
You raised a good one.
You're not raising weak women around there, I can tell you. They're putting stuff back on the shelf and cutting up mom's credit card. This is pretty cool.
Yep.
I like it. Good job, you guys. Very, very, very well done. We're so proud of you. How's it feel to be 100% free?
It's just a relief. There's, little things happen. We were actually supposed to be in person, but my husband had a little fender bender last week, and we stayed home to get the car fixed, and it's more of an inconvenience. There's just very little stress, and it's great. Everybody needs to be debt-free.
Mm-hmm. Amen. CJ, how you feel?
I feel the same way, especially with prices of everything going up. Like, it's not fun, but it's not nearly as stressful as what it would be if we had other things hanging over top of our head yet.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You gave yourself a raise not having that mortgage payment.
Yeah. Way to go.
Yes, we did.
Way to go, you guys. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, our latest #1 bestseller. That's going to be your destiny. That's the next chapter in your old story for sure. And I think these girls are going to be deca-millionaires probably. Be worth $10 million or more.
They're already working hard. They part-time jobs and making crafts and selling cake balls and...
Wow. That's so cool. Got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you as well. You can give that away and get someone else's journey started, hopefully. And since you've been through Financial Peace University, you may want to give this away. We're going to give you a gift card for a Financial Peace University membership for a year and get you into Ramsey Plus. You can either go back through and watch the new videos if you want. They're brand new, and we just reset the whole curriculum. It's the best it's ever been. Or you can give it away to somebody, whatever you want to do. CJ and Jen, $112,000 paid off in 20 months, making 100 to 125, house and everything. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, girls.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
That is, if you ever wonder what it sounded like, that's the sound of a family tree being changed. That's exactly what the sound is.
That was picture perfect.
You hear those kids screaming? The one that cut up the credit card, the one that turned it into a flower, the one that put the stuff back on the shelf, screaming debt-free just 4 months before she turned 16. See, this is stuff you remember. And when she's an old lady and she's talking to her grandkids, she goes, "I remember back in 22, Mom and Daddy paid off the house. That's before we had $250 million like we do now, kids."
That's amazing.
That's what it's going to be. I'm telling you, man. This is how it happens right here.
Man.
This is how it happens.
There was so many components of that. Number one, they committed. They got the babysitting lined up. Then they got around other people who were doing it to encourage them, and that changed everything. And they had visuals. They had the kids involved. They had the rocks in the jar.
I love the rocks in the jar.
They made it visceral. And so when you do all those things, you're bound to become debt-free sooner rather than later.
Yeah, there's too many things barking at you. You got visuals and everything in front of you, and you got people around you, and your family's involved, and there's accountability and encouragement built into that whole system. And going to Financial Peace University, you can do it online if you want. We don't care; it's fine. But it's more powerful when you do it in person with a bunch of other people who are having the same fears that you're having.
Who text you and go, "Hey, we missed you this week. Where were you?
Yeah,
we'd love to see you next week." It's that kind of stuff that makes it.
Yeah, or something not even that nice, like get your butt back in class or something.
That's if Dave's texting you. That's the one you're going to get. I love it.
Where the flip were you? Yeah, that's people used to cry when I was a coordinator, but
And that's why he stopped, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not very good at it. Oh, it's better talk radio. This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Always use the promo code Ramsey. Blinds.com, a great American company.
Today's question comes from Jill in Mississippi. She says, I'd like to hear your opinion on an engaged Christian couple asking for donations via GoFundMe to help them pay off the groom's debts so they can start their marriage debt-free. Well, I've heard it all, Dave. That's an interesting one. GoFundMe, which, if you don't know, is a fundraising platform online. You can set up for pretty much any need, and people can donate. You can set your goal, and you get to keep all the money even if you don't hit the goal with GoFundMe. Mm-hmm. So for an engaged Christian couple asking for donations to get this groom debt-free, I love the heart behind it. I love that he wants to become debt-free. That's about where I stop liking this picture.
You know what makes it feel weird is just the GoFundMe part. That's the only thing that makes it. Because, listen, if they just said, hey, in lieu of wedding gifts, we'd like cash to pay off our debt, you wouldn't think that was weird.
No.
I mean, you would go, it's weird. It's different. But, I mean, you wouldn't
most people want to get you a spatula.
That wouldn't be a turnoff. But for some reason, it's a turnoff. And this woman thinks it is because she has to throw in that they're Christians, which has nothing to do with this. I don't
know where that came in.
GoFundMe's not in the Bible. I mean, what is that? They're an engaged Christian couple, which I'm reading between the lines. This person doesn't think this is proper. She's trying to say it's not Christian.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with a faith
Look,
element.
Instead of wedding gifts, they wanted cash. That doesn't turn me off. But when you go GoFundMe, it's kind of, because I'm an old geezer, I'd immediately go, bleh. But that's just a modern way of getting cash instead of... It's a technological way of getting cash.
When you take the wedding part out of it, it's
instead
a guy...
of cash, I have to Venmo. Oh, give me a break. But okay, right?
There's no real need here. Now, if they were in turmoil, there was a health issue, it's a little bit different. But just the fact that you're getting married doesn't make me go, well, we should definitely pay Junior's credit cards off.
Yeah, but when you get married, you get a whole bunch of crap as gifts that you're never going to use. I'd rather have the cash personally and get the debt paid off. I don't think it's tacky. But that's me. I don't have any couth, so I have no manners.
For our wedding day,
I don't know which side the fork goes on, okay? So what do I know? But
coming from a modern millennial, we had our normal gift registry, but we also had a house down payment fund because we were in the process.
Why is that not as tacky as this?
Because it was just a thing. If you wanted to support that instead of buying us a spatula, you could do that. But it wasn't asking me to pay off the debt before the wedding via GoFundMe that had nothing to do with the wedding. So it feels separate. I don't even know if anyone did it. It was just a fun thing. We decided, this is what we're passionate about, and we're going to put it on there in case family and friends want to support that.
The question actually, I'm reading into it. It does not say this is instead of a wedding gift.
It just starts. So
it
they
just
can start
says
their
make
marriage
donations. Now that's different too.
from people who may not even be at the wedding.
Yeah, that's different too. No, I'm not going to give somebody. But in lieu of a wedding gift, if they would rather have cash because they are trying to buy a house, like George, I would be cool with that. I'd rather have a house than a cake knife.
And that's the problem. You go to Target and you start scanning things willy-nilly because you think every
my
couple needs the
God.
cake stand. Stop buying the cake stand, millennials. What are you doing with the cake stand?
It's and worse than Target, Home Depot.
Oh, that's dangerous for the guys.
Give George tools that he doesn't even know what they do.
Well, now they have the fancy battery ones, so I get more excited about those.
I know, but you still don't know what they do. They just are battery operated.
Okay, fair
But,
point.
you know,
Fair point.
So, but I mean, yeah, that's you could get a bunch of crap in our culture, and money actually translates. So I don't know. Jill obviously thinks it's tacky, and I can tell that because she throws the Christian thing in there. So I'm just saying. But if it was in lieu of a wedding gift and it was cash, it wouldn't feel as weird. But because we're not sure it's a wedding gift, and because you threw GoFundMe in there like you're some kind of a charity.
That's the part that feels icky.
Because GoFundMe is almost usually for need.
Well, it's someone who lost their house in a fire. There's cancer.
Medical bills because they got cancer or something like that, right? And that's usually the stuff GoFundMe.
But just getting married and you got some debt?
I want to buy a new car. I've got a GoFundMe. Would you help me? You know, people do that stuff. There's some goobers have it on there for paying off their student loans and stuff. And we see those stuff pop up. But that's all weird. And maybe that's what's weird about it. I don't know.
Well, note to self, Dave's not going to support my GoFundMe. So I won't ask. Dave.
No, I really won't. I might give you some money, but I'm not running it through them.
Hey, whatever you got, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've got a battery-operated Sawzall. I'll just tell you that. All right. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Caleb is with us. Caleb's in Detroit, Michigan. Hey, Caleb, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Okay. Well, before I get to my question, I just want to say thank you for everything you guys are doing. I've been a long-time listener. Even in high school, I was telling my friends, sorry, guys, can't go out to eat. Dave said no. So just appreciate you guys. Wanted to say thank you before I get started.
Thank you. How can we help?
So recently, over the last couple of years, I've been working in the fast food industry, and I've really taken a strong interest in entrepreneurial roles and leadership roles as well. So I've been looking to try and get into a franchise opportunity, and I've been doing a lot of networking, if you want to call it that. My name's been passed around a couple times, and I have a couple opportunities now in front of me, and I'm a little stressed about the decision that I need to make between these two. Okay. So the first option would be there's a group of investors who have bought 3 franchises, and they need someone to run them. So they've offered me a position as the operator. I would take a salary of a livable wage, and over the course of 5 years, I would build a sweat equity in the business of 12.5%. If I wanted to buy in, I could buy in more. And if I do well at it, they'd be willing to let me operate more stores and buy in for more, as well as they do a lot of real estate work that I could get into. So lots of opportunity for growth if I perform well. The other option was a store that basically I would be the franchise partner and operator. I would be running the day-to-day operations. There would be no equity. I would take half of profits. The store itself, when looking over the P&L, I should be making anywhere between $120,000 and $150,000 a year. So it would be really good income. But there's a no-compete clause, so I wouldn't be able to kind of expand from there. So we're looking at taking a big cut to start out with as far as pay, but opportunity to grow, or a substantial income with not a ton of opportunity to grow.
Are there any startup costs with either of these that you have to pay into?
The second option would be about a $10,000 buy-in. The first option, I would
buy
have
into what? You don't own anything.
It would be more of a franchise fee.
I know, but you're not going to be an owner in the second option.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're not buying in.
Right.
Oh, that's a bad structure. You're buying in, but you don't own anything.
Yeah.
Who gets the $10,000?
Correct. Yeah.
His partner, who's putting it towards a franchise fee, but he doesn't own anything.
Entity that would, yeah.
Now, what's the store worth, or what's it going to be worth when it's up and running? The second option.
The second option, they do if the P&L from before it was closed is accurate to what it would be when it opens up, they were doing about $2 million in gross revenue, making about $200,000 to $250,000 profit. Or sorry, I'm sorry, a little bit more than that. Basically, when cut profits, I would be making between $120,000 and $150,000.
$240 to $300 profit if you're splitting it in half.
Correct.
Okay.
So in the second deal, if you had 12.5% ownership for your $10,000 that matched the offer on the table for the first deal, it would be a better deal.
Okay.
Wouldn't it? Mathematically. But you need to limit the non-compete to a territory, to a range of a distance, miles, and 2 years max, because it's not enforceable legally anyway. Past that, very difficult to stick a non-compete past 2 years, and very difficult in a situation like yours to make it too many miles away. If the second guy won't do that, I'd go with the first guy, because I'm not paying him $10,000 for nothing. I'm not doing that on principle. Doesn't make sense. Hey, thanks for the call.
Do you love a good Dave rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Allison is in Anchorage, Alaska to start off this hour. Hi, Allison. How are you?
Hi, I am doing great. Thank you guys so much for taking my call. It's an honor.
Sure. What's up?
So I feel like my husband and I are missing out on an investment opportunity of owning a home because our employer provides housing. So we're kind of at a loss, no goal-oriented in mind for saving our money. Should we be saving to buy a house?
Yes.
Should we pay cash for that house?
It'd be fine. You need to be saving in good mutual funds at a minimum, or you need to go buy a property so you're participating in the real estate market. What kind of employer? What's your husband do?
He runs a lodging business. So we did purchase 10 acres, and it was $60,000. We did 10% down. We got it down to $40,000, $500 a month, but it's interest free.
Doesn't matter. Get it paid off.
Trying.
Go ahead and get it paid off.
Pay it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least then you're participating in the real estate market. Because here's the fear: you sit in the lodge rent free for 40 years, and think about what house prices were 40 years ago. Yeah. You get, the market just kills you, right? So you want to be riding that wave up as a part of your wealth building, even if it's not a property you live in. So the 10 acres was a good move. And you could add to that, after you get the 10 acres paid off, you could go buy a rental house and pay it off.
Okay, so you would accept that we could go ahead and buy a rental property, even though it's not our main dwelling, it's our only mortgage we would have, do a 10% down.
Well, I don't like it. I want you to pay cash for everything, because it's the shortest distance between now and getting out. I mean, you know, you're camping on that $10,000 or that 10 acres over there like it's something fun just because there's no interest on it. You still need to get that stinking thing paid off. So I don't like any of that, but because the reason I don't like it is it keeps you from getting rich. You pay other people all your money.
Mm-hmm.
So how quickly could you
But
pay
save up.
that off and then save up and put even 20% down on a property?
I could throw 30 at it today and still have my 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So that would bring us down to 10. I can save $2,000 a month. So 5 months I could have it paid off.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
then start the saving process over again to pay
You free up
cash for
those
a house.
payments.
Yeah, and then start the savings process, and let's either put a large down payment or pay cash for the rental. There's no hurry. The point is you don't want to go decades and not own real estate.
Correct.
That's the only thing I don't want you to do. And I wouldn't want to do it. And, I run into this with pastors and parsonages all the time. They've been in one church for 25 years, and they've had the housing furnished in the parsonage. And then they retire, and now they're homeless. And so because they didn't have any kind of game plan for the end of that story. And so you're very smart to be, as you said, goal-oriented and be ready for the end of this story. So very, very good. Lincoln's with us in Dayton, Ohio. Hey, Lincoln, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for all that you guys do.
Thank
you. My wife and I am 27 and my wife's 24, and we have paid off about $30,000 worth of debt since November.
Great.
But we still have $40,000 more, and she's actually going back to get her master's in education. And she wants to, basically the main premise of my question is my wife likes to upgrade a lot of things very quickly. And she likes paying off debt, but not to the point where she doesn't get what she wants. And so it leads up to me having to say no to a lot of decisions on things that she wants. And I feel like a parent in our marriage. I don't want to feel like a parent to my wife. So I don't know if you have any insight on that.
Well, I sense that you're feeling some resentment towards her because you don't want to baby her, but I want to have you look in the mirror and go, maybe I haven't done a good job getting us on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that not the problem? You're not on the same page when it comes to what your goals are and then what our actions are to get there.
Yeah, that could definitely be a fair point.
It's hard to get other people to be excited about your goal.
Lose focus.
It's hard to get other people to be excited about your goal. This ain't her goal. It's your goal.
Yeah.
Her goal's upgrades.
That is fair. Mm-hmm.
So Georgia's right.
So I would have a conversation with her and go, hey, listen, I know you want to do these upgrades, and I love that. I want to do that, but I want to do it the right way, and I want us to get out of debt first because this is how it's going to propel us forward and get us there even faster without any stress or anxiety. And now she goes, oh, he wants the same thing I want. Now we can start moving in the same direction.
Yeah, that's good. And then she's going back and getting her master's right now in education.
And why is she doing that? Just curious. What's the end goal of getting the master's?
She got a degree in HR, and after a few months, she decided that she didn't like her job in HR. So then she she is basically an aide for a special education room, and that she decided that's what she wants to do. So she has to get her teaching degree in order to do that. And it was the same price to get her master's as it was the undergrad.
Yeah. And so she's already quit her job.
So that was about 6 months ago. And so it was taking less money and then also adding on more debt. And that doesn't feel like we're moving towards the same goal. So when George said that, I was like kind of iffy on it because there are like other symptoms in this scenario of her not being all in for the Ramsey plan.
It's not the Ramsey plan, dude. It's the Lincoln and his wife plan. You got to decide what that is. And so here's the thing, okay? This is not a financial question. It's more of a marriage question. But the deal at our house is that we both have to be in agreement, and we both have a vote. My vote's not bigger than hers. Her vote's not bigger than mine. Her dreams are not bigger than mine. My dreams are not bigger than hers. We both have to be in agreement before we make major decisions. So you don't quit your job without both of us talking about it. Unless you're sexually assaulted at work, and then you can quit your job and walk out and tell me about it, right? But I mean, just because you changed your mind at 24 years old, 3 months after you got out of college, that you didn't like your job and your whole career path, and so you change it and going to go back to school again to fix this. Oh, brother. So no, we don't do that stuff. We don't upgrade in this. We don't not do this. We don't go pay off big debts. We don't make big decisions, but we're both together. And that forces us to back up from the actual decision itself and say, is this decision taking us the fastest possible way to our goal, and are we in agreement of our goal? And so Sharon and I just don't make decisions that way. And so in your case, in other words, Sharon's got a veto card. She goes, I'm not going along with this. Okay, and we're not doing it until we talk it through and we see where it fits. And very seldom does she do that. Very seldom does I say, no, not going along with that. I don't agree with that. And that vetoes it. It stops. And it's not you telling her what to do or she telling you what to do. It's you both have a vote, and you have the ability to stop the train if the train's off the tracks. And y'all aren't doing that. She's just doing whatever the flip she wants to do, and you feel bossy. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. A lot of people hate the idea of looking at insurance. With our new 5-day guide to insurance, George Camel will lead you to have confidence in your coverage. It makes learning about insurance quick, practical, fun, funny, laugh out loud. You're going to have a good time. For every day for 5 days, Ramsey Personality, George Camel, sitting next to me, will walk you through a new insurance topic, unpacking everything you need to know to get the right coverage for you. Go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence and sign up, and you'll get confidence in your coverage. A 5-day free set of videos to show you all about insurance. George, this is working. A lot of people watch this.
I think they're just hoping for a laugh, and they might learn about insurance along the way, and that was the goal. If we can put laugh out loud and insurance together, that would make history.
These don't usually go in the same sentence. You're
No.
right. Solomon is with us in Arizona. Hi, Solomon. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Dave, for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I was calling. I'm in baby step 2. I have about 32. Well, me and my wife have about 32,000 in baby step 2. Household income, we have about 80 to 82,000. But my question is about our house situation. So my wife bought her house that we live in about 7 years ago. She was in dire need, and she got into a rent-to-own situation, and we pay $675 a month. 180 goes towards the principal of the house. The $495 is considered rent. So what I'm wondering is, they said we could pay it off. You know, if we get a mortgage or whatever, we can pay it off and go through like a single bank, or do we just write it out as it is?
Okay, what is the payoff on the contract now?
Last I checked, which was a couple years ago, it was $53,000.
What's the house worth?
Probably, as it sits, probably close to $100.
Okay. What's your household
income? It needs some work done. 80 to 82.
Okay. Yeah, I'd run down to the credit union and just get a $50,000 loan and put the house into your name. The reason is, A, you're going to lose all this equity if you lose this deal. And so never do rent to own, never do a land contract or contract for deed, which is what this is, okay?
Right.
The reason is the house is not in your name. If the current owner gets in trouble, you lose everything, and there's nothing you can do about it. So let's say he was in a car wreck and got sued for $500,000 for wrongful death. It goes as a lien against his property. This property's not in your name; it's in his name.
Right.
You would
I don't know
you would
if
lose
there's
all
an
this.
actual owner. I think it goes. I think the company that we pay to, I think they buy these houses.
If that company gets in trouble and has a lien put on this house, you would lose the house. The point is, you are paying payments as if you own it. You're acting like you've got $50,000 worth of equity, and the house is not in your name.
Right.
You don't own it. Very dangerous.
Now, as far as even though I'm in baby step 2, my credit, I have pretty good credit. As far as a store, my wife doesn't. She doesn't have any debt or anything.
The point is, you're going to go down to a local credit union anyway,
right?
And they're going to look at the whole situation. They're going to look at the fact that you're buying this house at 50 cents on the dollar because it's a rent to own.
Right.
You're buying it for $50,000. They're going to get a $50,000 loan on a $100,000 property. That's pretty safe for them. Okay. And they look at an $80,000 income to pay a tiny little loan like this.
Right.
I mean, some people making $80,000 buy $50,000 cars.
Should we do that?
Yeah, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. But my point is that your income is very large for this deal, wonderfully large. Okay, and there's $50,000 worth of equity protecting them, so the credit union will make this loan.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys need to go get this house in your name, even if you don't keep the house, even if you turn around and sell it.
Right.
Because you're in a very precarious and dangerous situation with the property not being in your name. Now, we normally don't recommend you buy a house while you're in baby step 2, while you're in debt. But in effect here, you've already bought a house. You've just done it poorly. In a sense, we're refinancing in a sense here.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these pop up now, Dave, with this way the real estate market's been. There's a lot of slick online companies that are saying, hey, it's basically a rent-to-own scenario so that you can get into this house sooner because you don't have any money.
Never do that.
So I want to steer people away from those. I've been getting messages going, hey, is this a good idea? No, don't do it.
Quick answer. No.
Save up a down payment, do it the right way.
No to the capital no. Yeah.
Ugh.
Don't do it. Katie's in San Francisco. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, good to be here. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I followed you pretty closely after I graduated college, and I ended up paying off all of my student loans.
Way to go.
Thank you. I have a credit card, but no credit card debt, and I just feel like now I've gotten this, quote, big girl job, and I've just had a hard time. I feel like I've hit a plateau after paying off my debt of not being able to. I've saved up a $1,000 emergency fund, but, I'll end up spending it, and I just feel like I've hit a plateau where I just can't save any money, and I feel like I'm spending all my money, and I just can't, get to the next step.
Why?
Hello?
Why?
Oh, why? I'm not budgeting. It's hard. I guess
you have more money than you've ever had in your life, and you're broke.
I know. I'm very broke.
What are you spending your money on, Katie? Where are the money leaks happening?
I mean, in San Francisco, I'm going out to eat, experiences, traveling.
Could you go in instead? Could you have some friends over?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's get creative, and let's see what that does for a month. See how much money you have left over and how it makes you feel.
So, Katie, you're trading short-term thrills for your future.
Yes, and it's scary because I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and you realize that, and so now you have to decide. Each time you get ready to go out to eat or go on a trip, you have to go, I just gave away a piece of my future. And I just brought stress into my life. So is the joy of the going out to the club tonight with the girls, is that joy, is that equal to or greater than the amount of anxiety I'm going to feel when I wake up with a financial hangover tomorrow?
No.
And that's why you're calling.
Clearly not.
That's why you're calling. And so, but my point is you've got to put that into a day-by-day basis and quit doing some of this stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. I guess I know I can do it because I worked so hard to pay off over $10,000 in debt, and then I just lost all kind of, I don't know. I was
Well,
motivated.
you got a great income for the first time. You're making more money than you've ever made in your life, and so
Right.
it's like you got lotteryitis, like you hit the lottery or something.
Right.
Katie, here's what I'll do to help you build that muscle. I'm going to gift you Financial Peace University, and want you to do 2 very specific things. Watch Lesson 1, which is on budgeting and Baby Step 1 with Rachel, and watch Lesson 5 with Dr. John Deloney and I on wise spending. I think those 2 things combined will give you some tools in your tool belt to go, all right, I'm going to walk through the framework, I'm going to walk through this process, I'm going to commit to the plan, and just do it for a month. And if you do that and you hate it, you can go back to the way you were living. But I think you're going to feel that sense of relief, and you go, I'm in control. I'm confident in my money decisions.
Yeah.
I can do this.
You got to ask yourself, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Yeah, so you got to ask yourself, with the 34-year-old Katie, is she happy with what you just did?
Totally.
She's going to be pissed.
Right.
You're so lame. That's what she's saying. You're so lame. You're not fun. You used to be fun.
I don't want to keep living paycheck to paycheck. And I know that this method works because I feel like I got with gazelle-like intensity to that step. And now I want to continue going.
Yeah, and I'm going to be real harsh now. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You need some new friends.
Okay.
All your friends do is what you're doing. You don't have anybody in your life that's like a grown-up. All you got is party girls in your life. You need some new friends. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess? With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Philip and Maria are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Hi,
Welcome.
George.
Where do you guys live?
We live here in Nashville.
Oh,
we
cool.
live in Bellevue.
Just up the street. All right.
Yep.
Very fun, very fun. How much debt have you paid off?
We've paid off $57,000.
All right. How long
Just
did that
over
take?
2 years.
2 years.
Yep.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
We were making $90,000 and started out making $90,000, and now we make $150,000.
Good for you. What do you guys do for a living?
I am a mortgage loan processor, and
I'm a front-end developer.
All right. Very, very good. What kind of debt was the $57,000?
It was a range of everything. Most of it was student loans. We had credit card debt. We had some personal loans from the cars that we owned. And, just a little bit of everything.
You guys are kind of normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened 2 years ago? What was the wake-up call? How'd you get tied into Ramsey stuff?
That's a good question. It actually kind of starts back in 2018 when we first kind of got into everything.
Yeah. I had a medical emergency that landed me in the hospital, and it was a 3-day stay.
Ouch.
It's still kind of a mystery. We don't exactly know what happened, but we moved to Nashville shortly thereafter, and we got one of those insurance letters that says, this is not a bill. And
it told us how much that hospital visit cost.
Yes, and we had just shortly before I ended up in the hospital, we had gotten onto insurance.
Oh, wow.
And so I kind of had a moment in our kitchen when I realized where we would have stood had we not had the insurance. And that was my I'm sick and tired of being the sick and tired moment.
Amen.
And so it set off a couple of things for us, our debt journey, and as well as finding a new career path for me.
Which was kind of what brought us down to Nashville. We had lived up in Bowling Green, Kentucky before then, and moved down here in the summer of 2018, trying to find her a new career path, and just to try and get us a bigger shovel to really get out of this, because back before we moved down here, we were just barely making over $50,000 a year between the both of us. So we were really just trying to make a bigger shovel to really get rid of all this debt.
Cool.
So
very cool. How'd you guys get tied into us?
Her parents
so
really were helpful with that.
I've probably listened to your show on and off, since I was a kid, and my dad did his own version of the Ramsey plan, and he gave me financial peace when I graduated high school. I read it and then promptly did not do anything that it said I needed to do. And then when we had moved to Nashville, you were on the radio, you were on YouTube, you were on podcasts, and I started listening again, and we got gifted Total Money Makeover.
Yeah, her mom bought that for her birthday present that year.
Financial Peace University.
That was Financial Peace, yeah.
So someone gifted us Total Money Makeover. I read it to him in the car on a road trip that we took shortly thereafter. So I forced him to read it.
You read it out loud.
I did.
Yeah, she's a trooper.
You didn't even audiobook? No, I'm doing this myself.
The wife version of the audiobook. Yeah.
Yes.
With color commentary, probably.
And then I asked for FPU for my birthday that year, and made him watch all of them with me. I was like, no, we're doing this.
yeah, it was great. The videos were a great help, and I think what really helped us the most was the budgeting app, and getting that connected with our checking account, and just allowing us to have that financial budget conversation, every month. It just made it so much easier to be able to do that. And that was kind of the biggest lesson I think that we've learned, is just being able to get on top of that.
That's awesome. So you got to tell us about the poster you're holding. There's a lot going on there. Are you a science teacher? What's happening?
That's a great question.
So he's a really big Settlers of Catan fan. And I wanted to make up some sort of tracking for our debt, and
to motivate him. You went, if I put this in his world, he's more likely to do it.
Yes.
Right on the fridge is where this is hung.
So it sat on our fridge for a really long time. But we got most of the way through tracking everything, and we realized that since about 2017, my mom had been making payments on my school loans and had covered like a huge chunk of what we had thought we were going to be taking on. And
so we're very thankful to her mom.
Fantastically thankful for mom.
All her help.
Yeah. And it actually was one of several things that encouraged us. We have a few friends, Michael and Emily, hi guys, who had also paid off their debt around the same time that we started our journey. And so we had a huge amount of support, and that just sort of added fuel to the fire, kept us going.
Yeah. Just kind of made a game out of it.
Like our last Debt Free Scream, you have the visuals, you got the social proof from other people doing it, you have the commitment, you've got the parents, you've known this stuff your whole life, and you went, I'm sick and tired, and I think I know a guy who's got a plan.
Yes.
And you did it. We're proud of you guys.
And if I don't, Dad or Mom is going to remind me soon.
They're going to gift me another book.
I love them.
They're going to keep gifting me the book until I do.
They were standing in the background. They kept tossing stuff in until somebody finally picked it up. That was great.
Well, one of the biggest motivators was, we would really like to start having a family soon, and we actually just bought a house yesterday.
Congrats! Awesome.
So we've been able to make all of these financial decisions because we've been able to pay off all of our debt.
Very cool.
It's been really exciting.
By the way, that's her parents' decision too. That's their motivator, was for you to have your
kids. She has said that a couple of times.
They're like,
if you'll read this book, I can have some grandkids. Come on. This is
ulterior motive there.
Yes.
I love it.
You guys are awesome, man. Way to go. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be free?
Oh, it's still kind of surreal. It feels great, but it still feels surreal.
Will you ever go back?
Oh, never.
No.
Nope.
In fact, I gleefully rip apart, the credit card envelopes that they send you in the mail. I'm like, haha.
Yeah, it's almost like a weekly ritual. Just throwing out the junk mail.
I love it. Yeah, you could put some rip up the parts and put it back in the prepaid envelope and send it back to them. So they get hit with the postage
Charge them
that
for
way.
it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
Stick it to the man.
Way to go, you guys. Way to go. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That is the next chapter in your story for sure. And also a Financial Peace University subscription. Obviously, you've already been through it, but the brand new videos are out and the whole new class is there. You need to go through it again, or you can give it to somebody and pay it forward. And we'll give you a Total Money Makeover book, which you for sure can pay forward to somebody. And get them started on their journey. I'm so proud of you guys. Very, very, very well done. You're heroes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you are victors instead of victims. We've got too many people in this culture walking around hoping somebody else is going to take care of them, and you guys decided we're going to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So very, very good. And you had a lot of help, a lot of encouragement, which is the way it should be. All right, it's Philip and Maria from Nashville. $57,000 paid off in 2 years, making $90 to $150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free.
I love it. Oh, that's how it's done right there. Mom and Dad got to be proud, too.
Oh, yeah. It's every parent's dream.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very, very well done. That's how it's done, boys and girls. You make a list, you check it twice. I don't care whether you have a poster board with symbols all over it or whether you have rocks in a jar, bats in your belfry. I don't care what it is. There's all kinds of ways to do this.
You do you. As long as it causes you to do this stuff. That's what makes it worth it.
And the number of times we hear someone doing their debt-free scream has some kind of visual in their life. It's not that unusual. We have them actually on our website. You can print off for free all kinds of PDF stuff, and people want to do just because it's. They do links of construction paper chains worth $1,000 a piece, all kinds of stuff. And we see it all the time coming in.
You talk about goal setting, writing it down on paper, and this is a way to do that.
You know what? Normal people don't do that stuff.
They think it's lame.
Normal people are broke. You don't be normal.
Go get you some construction paper. Set you off on a journey.
Normal sucks. Don't be normal. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is The Ramsey Show. George Campbell, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Olivia is in Panama City. Hi, Olivia. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. I'm good. How are you doing today?
Great. How can we help?
So I have a quick question for you. I have just got into car sales. So I make commission here with my dealership, but then also the manufacturer that I sell the cars for, they pay us monthly, like a bonus, but it's not taxed. So I'm trying to figure out, when I file my taxes next year, how do you recommend that I save a percentage of this money or a month or an amount that I set aside every month so that I'm prepared when I go to file my taxes?
25% of it. Every time you get a check, put 25% of it in savings.
Okay.
What are you making? What's your income?
Well, I have a guaranteed of $1,000.
No, I mean, what's your total income going to be this year?
I don't know. It's $52,000, and then any commission over that.
What do you think you're going to make, girl?
Next month.
You think it'll be 75?
Are you going to make 200? What are you going to make?
Maybe 75.
Okay, all right. 25% will work then. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, because what it amounts to is you're not employed by them. It is taxable income. It is just not got taxes withheld because you're not on their payroll. So you're an independent subcontractor for them. Technically, it's like a freelance job.
Right.
And so it is taxable, and it'll be taxed also as self-employment income as well. So you're going to get hit 15.3 on that, and about another 10 on your taxes. So about a fourth of it. So you get a check for $1,000, set $250 aside into a savings account, and then you'll be ready to file your taxes and not be behind. It should cover you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Thanks for the call. And George, that'll work for a lot of people doing the side hustles. The beauty of side hustles is you can make a lot of money. The downside is a lot of people don't set their tax money aside and they get in trouble.
It looks great on paper. You go, I'm making good money. And then you forget about self-employment tax. You forget about the quarterly estimated taxes. That's an important thing to keep track of as well. Be filing that with the IRS if you've got a freelance job like that.
Yeah, if you've done it more than 1 year and you don't file quarterly estimates, you're going to get penalized.
We don't like that.
So it sounded like that was her first year on this. That's why I didn't push her on that. But you do need to set aside once a quarter. And a quarterly estimate's not hard to file. It's a little one-page document. It's basically got what you made and minus any expenses you have, create your taxable business expenses that you have for that business. And in her case, she doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So I'm just setting aside a fourth of it. So then you're supposed to file that quarterly estimate of taxes as if you're withholding on yourself, in other words, once a quarter, and that'll keep you from being penalized if you've done it for more than 1 year. But you folks are making a lot of money on your side hustles. You're going to get yourself in trouble with taxes if you're not setting the money aside. Because you're going to get this big tax bill, and, I made $40,000, but now I got a $10,000 tax bill. Yeah, that'll bite you, see, and set you back, and you'll be in trouble. And so you've got to be very disciplined and very careful and very self-controlled with that. It'll jump up and get you. David is with us. David's in Fort Lauderdale. Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. Great to be talking with you guys.
You too. What's up?
So I just moved to Fort Lauderdale from Oregon 2 months ago. I sold my house in Oregon, walked away with $240,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it really started booming Central Oregon. So with that money, I put $10,000 in my emergency fund. I paid off about $10,000 of debt. I've been investing into a Roth IRA now for several years and putting in money into separate mutual funds. Right now in Fort Lauderdale, I'm going to be starting a fire academy here in 3 weeks. It's about 3 months, full-time academy. So my question is, I'm going to have about $220,000 left over. I plan to live off of $20,000 of it during this 3-month academy. And my question is what to do with the other $200,000. I'm bouncing back and forth between, I know high-yield savings are about 1% now. They might be going up, whereas ETF mutual funds are, annually are 10%, although they're down now. But if I plan to park it for about 1 to 2 years, until I find where I'm going to live, where I'm going to work, and rent for a couple of years.
So let me get this clear, David. You don't have any more debt?
No more debt.
Okay, no more debt. And that emergency fund, is that fully funded, 3 to 6 months of expenses for you?
Yes. I put $10,000 in there, which I believe is enough.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 1 or 2 years, I'm not risking it in the market. That's too short of a time horizon for me. So I know it's not exciting, but that high-yield savings account is going to be your best bet for a short time frame like that, so you can protect it.
If you put $200,000 into like an index fund to park it for 2 years, and it goes down 10%, that's $20,000. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess my thought was with the prediction being, I wait 2 years and it bounces back.
I think the market will bounce back inside the 2 years. But George's point is, are you in a position to lose $20,000?
I wouldn't like to, no.
No, you could do it. I mean, you'd still have 180. It wouldn't kill you. But that's basically about what's at risk. The chance of you losing more than that historically would be very low. And you might make 20 instead of lose 20. So that's possible.
But the anxiety in between of watching it go up and down may spook you.
I personally think the market's on sale, and I think 2 years from now it's going to be back roaring again. All the data tells us that about bear markets. We're definitely in a bear market. By definition, it's a bear market. And so, the question is, do you want to ride that bear out and buy while it's low and take that chance? And the chance, I think, what you're doing is you're not risking $200,000. You're probably risking $20,000. And if you want to take that risk, you could go to just an S&P 500, a simple mutual fund, a simple no-load mutual fund, or if you don't want to take that risk, you would go to high yield savings and money market, or you could split it. You could put 100 in each.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Take a little.
It just depends on when you need the money.
Have a little bit of fun with some of it, a little bit of the roller coaster ride, and then some of it's sitting there safe. But you need to really think that through. But I wouldn't do anything other than that with it. Just something very, very simple. Both of those in the spectrum of overall risk is fairly low, versus putting it in something like Bitcoin where you could lose it all. Okay, and very well may in the next 2 years. So that's a distinct possibility the way that things dropping right now. So, hey, thanks for the call. Hannah's in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. I have a question prepared for you. So how can I get out of debt faster? I have about $53,000 in student loan debt. I have a $4,500 a month car payment, or $4,500 balance on my car, and credit cards is $47.05 and 23 cents.
What's your income?
Per month, it's about $1,700 a month.
How old are you?
29.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I work for Goodwill. I am a job coach for Goodwill. That's full time.
That's interesting because you need a new job.
Yeah.
You're starving to death.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
And this is a great market for you to get a new job.
Okay.
And maybe 2 new jobs.
I also own a business.
What does that make?
I brought home $10,000.
Okay.
Which is a huge growth. I've had the business for 3 years. And so this year's been the best year I've had, and I want to keep growing the business.
Hannah, that's wonderful, but you're 29 years old, and your total income is under $30,000. So I really want you to, I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, and From Paycheck to Purpose, and I want you to really think about the career side of this equation. And we'll also send you a copy of Total Money Makeover to teach you how to work the debt snowball, but you need a bigger shovel, because the size of the hole you're in versus the size of the shovel you got is troubling mathematically. So I want you to get your income up, kiddo. Hang on, we'll help you with that. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. It's a free call at 888-825-5225. Nick is with us in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Nick. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
Great, man. What's up?
Me and my wife are currently not in love with our current home. The market's pretty hot. We have talked about, we're working on some of our baby steps, as in paying things down. Our income for the household is $145,000 a year. We have roughly $36,000 in student loan debt is still outstanding, and roughly $14,500 in unsecured or credit card type debt. If we were to sell our home, we would net, based off the market in our neighborhood, anywhere between $100,000 and $125,000. Would you recommend that we continue down the baby step process and pay that down and stay where we are in a home we don't love, or potentially get it ready, put it on the market, pocket the money, rent for a while, and be completely debt-free going into a new home?
How much do you owe on your cars?
Nothing. We don't owe anything on any of our cars.
Okay, good. Okay.
All of it.
So you get 120 out.
Truck.
You get 120 out. You got to put 50 down in debt, and that frees you up an emergency fund plus a small down payment on the next house.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Sure.
Okay, because given the market, we had planned on renting. We are okay with that, so we don't really owe a whole lot on
I wouldn't rent
anything
long
that-
because I don't think this market. I'm not in agreement that real estate prices are going to go down. We're actually doing a real estate reality check on July 14th. That folks, is it 14th or 13th?
Yeah, 14th.
That they need to tune into. It's a free stream on. We're going to go over the data with everybody and show them how and where it's going. But I don't think the market's going to shoot up either. I think we're projecting a 5% growth in real estate prices this year. It was 7% last year, 18 the year before, and 32 the year before. So that's the actual data, not people's feelings. And you watch the news too much, you lose your mind. So anyway,
absolutely.
I think renting for a year, you're going to be perfectly safe. I don't think you're going to see a huge increase. And I don't think you're going to see a decrease in prices. You may see interest rates tick up some more as the Fed keeps screwing with this under Biden, because this Biden administration is just bound and determined to screw up this economy. They are messing with every lever they shouldn't be messing with, from labor to energy, everything. So you could see higher interest rates, but even then, you go buy a house, and if rates come back down, you just refinance. So I would do this and go rent for 1 year. That'd be my plan.
All right, that's the reassurance that I thought I needed.
Yeah, I would not do that if you love the house you're in.
Correct, and that is our problem. Is we do not love it, but we love the area, so we're willing to flex and hang out for a year or so.
Exactly. Yeah. Sharon and I did the exact same thing. We had kids in a private school because we were in a crummy school district. We sold the house and rented for 2 years, and put the kids in. Moved into a great school district, this area that we live in today. And that saved, back in the day, $20,000 a year.
Wow,
which is a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And we were renting cheaper, and we had all the equity from the house we had sold, and we cleaned up the last little bit of debt from the IRS and other stuff from the bankruptcy we'd gone through a few years before, and so we were clean slate.
Firmer foundation,
yeah. And got settled in the neighborhood, the area of town that we wanted to be in, the county that we wanted to be in, and that kind of thing. And then from there, we saved and bought the first house during that 2 years. A repurchase. It wasn't our first home. It was our third home, but still.
And for a lot of people, selling their house right now to clean up a mess could be a good thing. But if you make $145,000 and you've got $50,000 in debt, you can pay that off. There's no reason to sell the house just because of the debt.
Exactly. The math is not demanding you sell the house, but you're going to sell it anyway because you don't like it.
Exactly.
Then
and
this is a good time.
It feels like a get out of jail free card. So my caution to Nick is that you got to change your behavior. We got to actually decide we're never touching debt again. We've got these future goals.
That's a really good point.
Because sometimes it feels like, we just got out because of the equity in the house and appreciation. We can just keep living how we've been living.
Yeah, you don't want to do this every time to clean up your mess because you keep making messes. That's a good point.
So do it the right way.
Very good point. Patrice is with us in Detroit. Hi, Patrice. How are you?
Hi, Dave. It's an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
Okay. Well, I have a distrust issue with my so-called financial advisor. Mm-hmm. When the market was up to 36,000, she and I had our 6-month routine call. And she had someone else on the line, but she did let me know. And what she was doing was, without me realizing it at that time, was trying to get him started with new accounts and advise me to take some of the money that I had been saving for my down payment toward getting into a home and put it into investments. Well, I already have a 401k rollover with them. So I feel like I was, number one, misadvised. and I'm not happy about it. And I'm looking to just move on before Q3 rolls around, and I don't want to pay fees to this firm and yet another firm. I don't trust them now. What do you advise me to do?
I don't think you should ever work with somebody you don't trust, especially on money. So you need to move it. But then let me scold you also. You're like a grown woman and stuff. You made the decision.
I know. I own that.
So you didn't. You blamed them. And so you get, the trust factor has to come down to you. So we teach people not to use financial advisors as babysitters, but instead to use them as teachers. And so from now on, the next time this comes up, your financial advisor's job is to teach you and say, if it was me, here's what I would do and why. And then based on that, you make your decision. And then it's your fault. Okay? So you need to understand why they're telling you to do this and then do it or don't do it based on the why, because you have been taught and your knowledge has increased, and then you decide when you're going to do it. So like, Patrice, when I'm talking to these NFL guys, these little 23-year-olds and 24-year-olds, and they got $10 million signing bonus, and they say, I got me a guy, that's somebody who's getting ready to lose all their money because some guy is going to tell them what to do, and they don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. They're stuck. And so you have to go learn. You are in charge of your money. You have to take care of your money. But I would move it because I don't trust him. And then I would get an advisor in my corner, and I'm not going to have an argument with my financial advisor because they're not in charge of my money. I'm in charge of my money. Their job is to teach me, and then based on that knowledge, do I believe the knowledge, and am I going to buy it? And then based on that, am I going to make a move? That's what you've got to get there. But you can't ever look back on them again and say it was their fault, because from now on it's your fault. This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. One thing about doing these live events again, there's a lot of energy in the room. When you get in a room of 3,000 or 8,000 people full of, a theater, an arena full of people wanting to change their lives, it bleeds over on you. And you leave there, you go to like a football game or a basketball game or something, you get excited, it's fun, your team wins, your team loses or whatever, and you leave and you're kind of excited for those guys that just did their job. But when you leave and you're excited because you're like ready to go do something for you, that's a whole different thing. So that's what the SMART Conference is. It's a day-long event. It is going to be October the 22nd in Dallas. It is not yet sold out, but you can still get passes. They're only $39 for the whole day. It's all the Ramsey personalities, plus Craig and Amy Groeschel from Life Church are coming to speak on marriage. So we'll be speaking on mental health and wellness. We'll be speaking on careers, leadership, marriage, money, millionaires. Christina Ellis, Ken Coleman, George Camel, Dr. John Deloney, Rachel Cruz, Craig and Amy Groeschel, and Dave Ramsey. It's going to be a full day, and you will leave smarter. It's the SMART Conference.
We're cooking things up, Dave. We've been having some meetings about this. We've got some surprises for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
So worth it. It's very entertaining. It's probably our most entertaining event.
It's
on top of the content.
It is an absolutely phenomenal
live music, event. You name it.
It's a great event. It's an immersive thing, yeah. RamseySolutions.com/events to get your whole $39 ticket. We ought to charge $390, but we don't. We charge $339. All right, Avery's with us in Hartford, Connecticut. Hi, Avery. What's up?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
Hey, so question. I'm wondering if I'm being too gazelle type.
Okay. Why?
So last August, I had finally gotten to the point where I'd saved up a large chunk of money. And I bought my first house. I did a 15-year, and I saved up. I put down about 25% down, and I thought everything would be fine and dandy, and I'd be able to calm down at work with the overtime. And it was pretty instantaneous that I went from sleeping okay at night to not sleeping great at night.
Why?
I don't feel great knowing that I owe somebody $190,000.
Oh, okay. I mean, but the payment is it a fourth of your take-home pay?
Yep, I can afford the payment, no problem.
Okay. So why are you freaking out then? Because you were paying rent before and weren't awake at night.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess just having my name on a loan for $180,000, it troubles me. And I'm a worker, and I'm working right now. I'm working 90, 100-hour weeks, and I'm doing it just fine. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm just wondering if I'm being too gazelle intent. And these are consistent 90, 100-hour weeks.
Well, what are you doing this for? Are you trying to pay down the house early? What's your goal?
Yeah, Yep. After the budget is made and after all my bills are paid.
Are you single?
Every extra cent. Yeah, single.
Okay. Well, what's your goal to pay this off? How fast do you want to do it?
The extreme goal is 3 years. The more realistic goal is 5 years.
Okay. Well, do you think you'll burn out doing this for 3 years straight, working 100 hours a week?
I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I haven't burnt out yet.
Dude, you're like an Energizer bunny. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, you're telling us you're happy and healthy. So here's the thing. We say to go from intense to intentional once you're in baby steps 4, 5, 6, which you are, correct?
Yes, sir.
And me and my wife, we decided to be intense to pay off our house early. We did it in 26 months, which it sounds crazy, and we did go really hard, but we also weren't losing sleep at night. We weren't, there was an excitement. We were intense about it, but it wasn't consuming our life either. And so I want you to have some balance there. I love that you want to pay this off and you don't like debt. Great goal to have. But when it's consuming, you're living in your rent-free, it's not worth it.
Yeah, if you're not sleeping and you're working this hard out of some kind of fear or desperation, that's not good for you. Because the numbers don't indicate that there's an emergency.
There is no emergency.
I know, but you're acting like it.
I have a very healthy fund. Yeah,
but you're acting like it.
I have a very,
You're a driven dude, clearly.
No. You're spun up like a saber-toothed tiger's chasing you.
I feel that way.
Yeah, that's not okay. All right, being intense and working hard is okay, but being freaked out as your reason for being intense and working hard is not going to be good for you. You need to be able to shift gears and go, I'm going to be peaceful and ambitious. I mean, there's times right now, and I'm worth several $100 million that I work 100-hour weeks. But it's just because I want to, and because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm not doing it out of fear or desperation or terror, or I'm not spun up when I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's a goal, and I'm ambitious, and I enjoy hitting the goal. And usually when I'm doing it, I'm helping thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people during that week when I'm doing that. Like when we do this real estate reality check, that'll be a 16-hour day that day when I work that day on the 14th coming up. And so, and I don't need to work financially, but there's a different thing happening in my heart. I'm doing that to help other people because there's so many people scared right now about real estate. They're freaked out. And so I want to help. And I want you kind of coming at this. I don't mind the hours. George is exactly right. I think your hours are fine. If you want to work like a crazy man, I do that sometimes. But I don't want you to do it from desperation because you're not living in an emergency, Avery. If you were, I would tell you. And I would tell you to work like this. I mean, if you call me up and said I'm working like this to get rid of a student loan debt and I'm freaked out about it, I'd say, okay, stay freaked out. Get student loan debt knocked out because you got that thing hanging around your neck. But this is a mortgage that you're going to have done in 3 to 5 years. And there's no reason to freak out. You're still a young guy, man. You got time. You're doing really, really, really well. And so I would just breathe in and kind of enjoy where you are and then put your shoulder back into it, Smack them again, baby. Get it done. I love that you're getting it done. I just don't want you to be afraid because you don't need to be.
And having that kind of anxiety is not a picture of health to me. So I want you to kind of pan back and go, where's this coming from? And let's figure that part out. And I think that'll help you navigate what's next.
Well, And the interesting thing is, Avery, it's like a lot of things. What you're doing is so smart, and it's easy for us to encourage you in it, but we want to be careful and say, up under that, what's really going on, and what is it you're really running from or running towards. And so let's get all that stuff straightened out in your head. Make sure you take Sundays off. Let's put a Sabbath in there. Make sure you're at church.
Make sure you're spending some money and enjoying some of it and giving some of it.
Go for a hike in the mountains. Sit on the edge of a bluff and look out over a valley. It's okay. You're doing good, man. And then go back to work Monday. But you need to get a rhythm in here that's got some peace in the rhythm.
That's why you got a lake house, Dave.
I turn down that street, my blood pressure goes down, man. I'm just saying. As soon as I turn onto that road, it's downhill. The last half mile, you can put one of those little things on your arm, and it'd be just dropping right there. So,
Dave, you go real hard. I mean, you hold us to a high standard because you go hard, but you were also able to unplug.
The point is the why and what's driving it, and what's driving it is the need to serve others, and the satisfaction you and I get, and everybody, all the Ramsey personalities, everybody at Ramsey gets from helping other people, and that's why we jump up and do a free real estate reality check, and we're going to unpack that. So we want people to calm down. They're freaking out, and there's no reason for them to be scared. And let's walk through this fear, because these stinking news channels have gotten where they're just fear porn 24/7. Their goal is just to spin you up left, spin you up right, spin you up left, spin you up right.
Got to get those ratings
Let's
up.
see if we can get people pissed off and mad at each other. Let's find some reason to all be mad at each other, and it's enough already. This is just crazy, y'all. So it's the same kind of thing, you know. But Avery, you're doing good stuff a bad way. So let's do the good stuff with some peace in it, and you and I will be high-fiving when you get your house paid off. This is The Ramsey Show. George Campbell, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Mike and Valerie are with us in St. Charles, Missouri, and it says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much.
Cool. Now, how much did you pay off?
$442,793.
Wow. And how long did that take?
27 months.
Okay. And your range of income during this time?
$250,000 to $310,000.
My. What in the world do you do for a living?
Well, I do business development / sales for a construction company. Mm-hmm. And Valerie?
I work for a healthcare company in technology.
Wow.
Great careers.
So what kind of debt was this $443,000?
Well, we had a timeshare that I know you love. There's about $9,000 left on that. A student loan of about $9,500. A 401k loan that was about $17,000. 4 different credit cards that were about $40,000, and then 3 different mortgages.
Whoa!
Paid off the house.
Paid off the house. Both houses now.
Talking to weird people. I love it.
Yes, sir. As weird as it gets.
Love it. Not a payment in the dadgum world.
Baby step 7.
Way to go, baby. Way to go, man. I'm so proud of you. What's this house worth?
Well, our main residence is about $500,000, and our lake house that we still own is about $300,000.
Nice. And how much is in retirement savings? 401ks and such.
Between the two of us, it's north of 1.
Okay, so you're approaching a $2 million net worth.
Yeah, probably a little above that.
I love it. How old are you guys?
I am 51.
And I'm 42.
You're like classic Baby Steps millionaires. You fit the profile exactly. And how much of this did you inherit?
Very little. There was a little bit towards the end that was family property that sold that put us over the edge. We used the last $20,000 of that.
So out of $2 million, you inherited $20,000.
Yes.
Okay. So we don't want anybody to think you became a millionaire with inherited money.
Yeah. Actually, when I was younger, I did inherit a little bit more, but it was not enough to. I did a lot of stupid with that.
I got you. Okay. Well, way to go, you guys. Wow. All right. What do you tell people the secret to all this is? You've really killed it.
Well, paying attention to your money, being on the same page, and being intentional. I called your show a couple years ago before we started this, and you kind of inspired me. And after our conversation, you said 24 to 36 months we should be at baby step 7. So I took that as a challenge and finished off the first year with 140, and then the second, a little more than the second year, got the rest of it taken care of.
So I was wrong. It only took you 27 months.
Yep.
You're okay with being wrong on that one.
I like it when I'm wrong like this. I'll take wrong when you're the hero. That's very well done, guys.
So, Mike, Valerie, 27 months ago, you guys were pretty normal. You were falling for a lot of traps. You were living on the credit cards, 401k loans, the timeshare, all these mortgages. What happened where you guys just went, we're doing this once and for all?
Well, it was mostly me. My wife, Valerie, is a natural saver, and I was kind of the free spirit nerd on certain items, and I was kind of the king of the credit card shuffle, feeling like I was doing something by moving money around. And it wasn't working, and I actually had inherited a zero-turn mower from our family that I was supposed to sell when the family sold the farm, and it sat under a shed for 5 years and deteriorated, and I told a buddy that's a mechanic, hey, fix this so I can sell it, but don't spend too much money. And when I got the bill, it just kind of made me sick to my stomach and thought, how am I going to pay for this? And Valerie and I weren't on the same page with money, and I was trying to figure it out, and I found your program, and I just started selling everything I could to pay for the repairs on that mower. And then when I did the debt snowball on a spreadsheet, it made me sick to my stomach to look at how much money we were blowing and wasting on all the stupid.
Wow. Well, way to go, man. Way to go. How's it feel, Valerie, to be free?
And it feels pretty good.
I'll take that.
I guess so. A $2 million net worth and not a debt in the world. Absolutely amazing. 51 and 40-something years old. Way to go, y'all. Way to go.
We are free, and it feels fantastic.
What's the next big thing you're going to do to celebrate?
Well, upgrading vehicles. We just bought Valerie a new used vehicle, and probably in the next year or two, I'm going to do the same, and might be a vacation or two in the next year. So looking forward to just not being free and not owing anybody anything.
That works for me. What'd you buy, Valerie?
A Nissan Armada.
Ooh, nice car.
Cool.
Very cool. That's a great car. All right, guys. Very, very proud of you. Are the kiddos involved? They know what's going on?
Yeah, they don't know all the numbers per se, but we'd driven to Florida a couple times and listened to some of your books on the way, and the kids had to listen to it as well. So they are on board, and they like the plan, and they know that we're finally to baby step 7. They asked questions along the way, and we didn't give them specifics, but we kind of told them where we're at and what we're doing and why we're doing it. So it's been a pretty good journey.
Way to go, y'all. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. You set yourself up. So you're 51. When you're 58, if you don't do anything else, you'll have $4 million. And when you're 65, if you don't do anything else, you'll have $8 million. And of course, you're going to do more. So when you hit 65, you're going to have $10 to $20 million somewhere in there. So my last prediction I missed. I'll probably miss this one too, but that one's going to be pretty close. So
yeah, I hope so. And we're maxing out everything. So we're on our way.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Absolutely incredible. All right, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. You're already there. You are one. And a copy of the Total Money Makeover. You can give that away and help somebody out with it. And a 1-year subscription to a membership on Financial Peace University and get you guys signed up for that to go back through it or send somebody through it. It's all the brand new videos. They just came out, the best version of FPU we've ever done. So good stuff. All right, Mike and Valerie, St. Charles, Missouri, $443,000 paid off in 27 months, making $250 to $310. They knocked it out. Ooh. House and everything. Baby steps millionaires. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free.
Yeah! That's how it's done, boys and girls. That's how it's done.
Debt-free with a bunch of zeros on the end.
Love it. Love it. Well, here's the thing. The Baby Steps Millionaires book, this is why we did the book. Because we're talking to people like Mike and Valerie almost every day. And after having done this show for now 30 years, as a matter of fact, this weekend will be 30 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Technically speaking.
Incredible.
June 25th was the date we went on the air, and it'll be 30 years on the 25th. And so, all these years of doing it, what we're running into is people like him that, I talked to you 10 years ago. I talked to you 15 years ago. My dad and mom talked to you 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I was a little kid. We get those calls, we get those debt-free screams. But what ends up happening is that when you follow these steps, it is the shortest right way to become wealthy. And that's why, that's why we plug people into Financial Peace University, because a lot of these people that have become Baby Steps millionaires are following the baby steps through Financial Peace University. They're learning about insurance. They're learning about wise spending from you in the new lesson with you and Dr. John. And when you follow these proven steps, and we tell people, we always have told people it takes a decade, to work through them most of the time. And, but then you're a Baby Steps millionaire. It's pretty cool.
That's how you become an overnight success over a really long period of time. That is how it's done.
Over a lot of nights.
But it can be done. And it's slow. You wake up and you go, oh my gosh, we're millionaires.
I love it. Just look up one day and go, look at that, $2 million. Who would have thunk it? This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Hebrews 13:7. Remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith. Brian Tracy said, leadership is the ability to get extraordinary achievement from ordinary people. Now, Brian's right, and by the way, most of us are ordinary until we do something extraordinary. Then maybe you're not ordinary anymore after that. Who knows? All right, Dez is with us. Dez is in Philadelphia. Hi, Dez. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Sure. What's up?
Thank you for taking my call. I'm 24 years old, and I have about $32,000 in debt from various things. $10,000 in credit cards. I have $6,500 in a personal loan, 2 car loans that total up to $15,000, $9,000 for one car, and $5,000 for another car.
Why do you have 2 car loans?
I really like cars a lot, so I bought a 2004 Subaru WRX, and anyway, it blew up the day I bought it. It's a long story, but I got the second car because that car blew up twice in a year. And I was like, this is too much right now. And it got really expensive for gas and everything. So it actually cost me less money to get another car instead of just driving that car constantly.
That's one way to justify it. Okay.
Yeah. So the goal was to sell it, but anyway, I don't. It's blown up right now. I have another engine for it, so I'm going to put the engine inside it and then sell it. And then once I put the engine inside it, but so anyway, my question is though, I start school this summer. I'm going to school for nursing, and I want to consolidate all my debt into a $25,000 school loan. And the reason why I want to do that, because I want to pay it off faster. From what I understand, if I do that, instead of me having all these different loans all over the place, because like my one loan has a high interest rate and the other one has high interest rates and so on and so forth. Well, you consolidate all into a smaller loan.
Des, listen to me, buddy. The problem isn't that you have too many debts all over the place. The problem is Des. You're the common denominator for all of these debts. So moving them into one thing over here and you're not actually doing anything. I want you to change the way you live your life, not change where your debt is moving to.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do that is the question. Because if not, no, you shouldn't consolidate the debt and put it into a school loan. You should pay off the debts from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rate, and stop making bad decisions.
What was the $6,500 personal loan for?
Oh, it started off like small. I had to pull out a small loan to do like various projects. I thought I was building my credit.
What is a various project?
Oh, so like I buy and sell like random things, and I make profit off of it. So, but anyway, I was doing I bought a car and I was building like a race car.
Yeah. So do you have a job now?
Yeah, I do.
What do you make?
My yearly income is between 40 and 60.
Okay.
But it ranges. It could be 30 one year. It could be 60 other year. But I don't always know.
All right. Let me tell you what I'm hearing. Okay, and then you can do with that what you will. What we know is that debt consolidation loans, which is what you're wanting to use a student loan for, 88% of the time, that's 9 out of 10 times if someone takes out a debt consolidation loan, they end up further in debt. And the reason is what George was saying, that you didn't change the habits that put you in debt in the first place. Let's go down your list of debts. $10,000 worth of credit card debt, buying crap you couldn't afford, $6,500 worth of personal loans. I buy and sell some stuff and I make a profit. Bull crap. If you made a profit, you wouldn't have $6,500 worth of debt. You'd have $65,000 cash in the bank. You're a con artist and you're conning yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? And I like cars, ones that blow up often. So everything on the list is Des doing something stupid. Everything on your list. And so George is exactly right. And I'm not saying Des is stupid, because I think you're a whole lot like me. I'm that guy, man. I like doing deals. I like trying to figure something out. I like my feet moving and trading something and buying something. We used to call it horse trading when I was a young guy, because back then there might have been a horse involved, but now there's not, right? So, but nowadays, anyway, the bottom line is you just like going and moving things around, and you're very energetic, and you're very bright, and you see things. And the problem with guys like you and me is we think we can out-earn our stupidity.
Yeah.
And you just, everything you listed there looks like something I would have done when I was your age. That's why I can pick on you, okay? I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on what you did. There's a difference. I think you're very bright, but I think you've messed up on some wisdom issues here, and going and moving the loans so you can act like all this crap didn't happen and keep doing the same behavior. That's a nightmare, man. Don't do that. So it's time for Des to look in the mirror and go, wait a minute. I need to learn some lessons from every one of these debts so they never grow back. And then I need to work my butt off and pay off these debts as fast as I can using the debt snowball. Cut up all the credit cards, get on a budget, work like a crazy man, and let's clean this debt up. Get rid of that Subaru. Let's start selling everything in sight. Let's take 6 jobs, and let's work our way through these debts as fast as you can. You can do this because you're not a dumb guy. But, boy, have you done some dumb stuff. And I know that because I've done dumber stuff, and that's how I can see it. And so I'm not picking on you like anymore, and I'd pick on myself, or I'd pick on George, because I love you, and I want you to go win, Des. That's what it amounts to. But, dude, you can't just move the debt over there and keep on with the same stupid butt behavior. You're going to make another mess, and you're going to double the size of your mess. So, no, you don't use a student loan for debt consolidation. By the way, America, that ought to be illegal. You and I are funding that crap because your Congress are idiots. Why in the world do we have a student loan program that allows something like that to even be a question?
Because they'll happily take your money.
The idea of student loans is to go to college, people. And yet it's perfectly legal what he is proposing. There's nothing illegal or immoral about it. But for America to have this as a policy while the goobers in the White House are talking about forgiving student loan debt, and this is where the student loan debt comes from, you ought to have your butts kicked, America, because you ain't kicked your Congress's butt. Unbelievable. This is exactly what's going on. So, it's, you know.
But Junior deserves a great college experience, Dave. How are they going to pay for the water slide?
How are we going to pay for the Subaru engine?
That's a great question.
Which is that'll change your collegiate activity. What I get a degree in blown Subaru. That's my degree. It's just, so that's the problem, y'all. And so, Des, I love you, man, but you got to change what you've been doing, and that'll fix your problem. You can't borrow your way out of debt, and you can't out-earn your stupidity. I've tried both, and I did it with a lot more zeros on the end, and I could tell you stories that make you cry how stupid Dave Ramsey was. And so that's the old saying, where does wisdom come from? Comes from experience. Where does experience come from? Yeah, stupid. That's where experience comes from.
One way to get it.
Yeah, and you just don't do it again. I've done so much stupid stuff, George. My only goal is not to quit doing stupid stuff, but it's quit doing the same stupid stuff. I just don't want to do the same one.
Are you finding new stupid stuff
Every
to do?
year I find something new.
Wow, that's
Every
growth.
year.
That is growth.
It's encouragement. But it's not. I'm better because I got a whole bunch of stuff I don't do anymore that's stupid. So that does insulate
Well, we're all thankful because we can avoid it when you tell us.
Yeah, well, it's I can feel his pain. I feel it because that's so harsh though to actually look and go, ooh, this is a symptom of an underlying problem. It's not really the problem.
It's easier to go, this next project's going to be it. Yeah. If I can just make this deal happen, man.
That's it. That's the disease right there. Oh, man. Thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and Kelly, and James in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey. That's George Camel. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.